Good evening. My name is Zach Christensen, and I'm in the MBA 690 Strategic Management class. My presentation that I've been working on the past 7.5 weeks, almost 8 weeks now on Sunday, will be over John Deere. As many of you know, if you grew up in rural Midwest, rural anywhere in the world, you know what John Deere is. First, we'll go into the history of John Deere. John Deere was founded by John Deere. The company was started in 1837 with the creation of the steel plow, which revolutionized the way that field work was done back then. And then years passed and improved the steel plow, but in 1918, John Deere entered the tractor business with two models, with the Waterloo Boy, which is the picture in the bottom right, and then the John Deere Model 1. One of the another thing about John Deere is it's one of the most well-known companies and successful in agriculture in the world. He's next to Case, Kubota, then Hagie, but Hagie is owned by John Deere. Throughout the history of John Deere, they have acquired many companies. Most recently, they acquired Hagie Sprayers, which is a applicator piece of machinery that sprays liquid fertilizer on agricultural fields from beans, corn, wheat, rye, barley, hops, countless other things. And then another thing that not a lot of people would know about if you aren't involved with rural agricultural communities is the fact of they bought a German road paving company in 2018. The vision and mission statement for John Deere. The purpose of the strategic plan is to align the company's mission and vision. I took that from a source that I found earlier in week 2 when I was writing my paper. I really like that source. Mission of a company, align it with their vision. Their mission statement is we live up to the legend, we serve the sincerity, we forge the cutting edge, we stay evergreen. That is just spot on. And my final third bullet point is efficiency is key. The way that technology has came in the last 25, 30, 40 years with farming equipment is astronomical. With GPS, more efficient engines, more efficient planting, bigger planters, closer crops, rows such as from, I think the average row span in 1986 was 42 inches and then went down to the 36, and now almost everyone's using 30, if not 18 inches. Just the efficiency that they have to accommodate to. Business model. Create the best products to suit the customers and their need of agriculture and or other markets through forestry, road paving, golf courses, and such. Um, John Deere follows a non-price competition in their marketing mix strategy. That is just plain simple, Jane. They just go off what they think is the best, and they do it on their own because they know they're the best. Production cost and inventory housing is significant and a huge aspect in the turn of sales. You drive by any John Deere dealership, there could be upwards of $30 million on a lot. That's a lot of money. There can only be 40 pieces of equipment because the average combine base model new right now is running $900,000. Base model tractor, a decent size, an 8RX, I guess you could say, is running around 700,000. The main offices in the United States, with their multiple manufacturing facilities and sales force facilities around the world. There's one 2 miles from my parents' place. There's one 2 miles from my house currently. They're everywhere. They're in any town from Hastings, York, Seward, Lincoln, southwest of Omaha, Nebraska City, Rising City, Columbus, Lexington, North Platte. They're everywhere. Strategies. This is kind of a difficult one because they do vertical. They've done vertical and they currently are doing horizontal. With the present, every market and countless different products in each market. Agriculture, there's 20 different types of tractors. Same with there's forestry. You can put different sized engines to different types of interiors and everything. Sales with distributors is the primary source of income. You sell equipment, you make a lot of money. Now their shops to fix equipment, it's a big aspect too because you always got to have farmers that might not be able, dryland farmers might not be able to afford that new $900,000 common, but they can afford a $70,000 fix on a top compression piston ring. Hundreds of different options to each tractor and hundreds of different products in each market segment. Like I stated just a second ago, multiple gaps from small house farm to commercial golf course to forestry. There's just they have everything, anything that you can think of that can do anything, everything you can think of. You step foot on a farm, a larger farm nowadays. They have all the way from the brand new technology from the 1972 tractor that they bought brand new in 1972 and it runs great. It just shows you the standard and quality that John Deere has in their equipment. Ethics. Oh, this is the biggest topic for John Deere. John Deere has been rated one of the best ethical companies for the past 30 years. They just do things right. They treat people right. And that's the big aspect. They're a company to look for reasons on how to get better and what to do better. How does a company do that? Upper level management comes down and treats their facilities better. Their facility employees, their supervisors of floors, their supervisor of the whole facility, just their manufacturing, their assembly line people. Employees are the only reason why they're ethical. They treat and respect them to perform the best. Yes, 5 months ago, John Deere was on strike because of pay. Hey, that happens when you're unionized. We won't get into the topic of unions. That's what happens when you get unionized. They want better pay. They need better pay with an inflation rate of almost 8% and our GDP went down 2%. It's hard to adequate that. Here's my five forces analysis. Supplier power strong. They have good suppliers, competitive rivalry strong. You got Case, you got all other companies. Buyer power moderate. I mean, if you want something, they can't go all out other places, but they want something solid, they gotta go to John Deere. Threat of new entrants, I'd say weak because of the fact that there's not. It's hard to become that size. Substitutes strong. Here's my EFE. Just small things, economy, takeovers, ability to collaborate in global markets. That's a huge opportunity. Threats, worldwide market, country less receptive. Countries might not like that large multi-billion-dollar American company. Weather, multiple tractor companies, small tractor companies in these other countries. IFE, strengths, highly skilled workforce, successful market strategies for its products. Automation of activities bring quality to products. Weaknesses, financial planning is not proper and effectively done. They struggle with their in-house loans for tractors a little bit. Limited success outside of core business. Yes, they struggle with the golf course segment. SWOT analysis, just a mixture of the strengths and threats, weaknesses and opportunities, weakness and threats. Highly skilled workforce investing in the new technology. Key, strong dealer presence in communities with the threat of other companies. I know the owner of the Hastings dealership, or I guess you could say the leader, location manager. They are involved with the community. They take booths to everything and anything they can. Here's my CPM, just rating everything that they do. Space Matrix, or sorry, BCG Matrix, just shows where the financial services, agricultural, construction, forestry, and military component. Space Matrix, rating other companies to John Deere, Kubota, Case, and John Deere. QSPM, it's hard to read because I couldn't figure out how to separate the charts. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which is just your IFE and EFE put together. I just went over that a little bit ago. Financials, here's a big one. They kind of fluctuated. 2020 went down because of COVID. Net profit margin, good, solid. Price per share went down. I did buy a lot of John Deere stock when COVID happened, so that's always good. Voted in their shareholder meeting last week. Return on assets, return on equity, current ratio is solid. Working capital very solid. Debt to assets, it needs some work. Debt to equity, kind of teeter-tottering in the 2.4, 2.5 down to 2.3. Long-term debt slowly going up. Days of inventory solid 4. Inventory turnover 1, 1.5, 1.24, 1.17. Stock chart kind of just fluctuates. As you can see, it was sitting about the 75 range when COVID happened, shot up to 175 in October, November of 22, and sitting at 128 when I took this picture in early April. Strategic performance, the market share of John Deere overall in the world is over 20%, which is astronomical. The non-existent issues of ethics has helped John Deere significantly. Ethical issues are non-existent for John Deere. That's just one thing that makes people attracted to him. Recommendation: keep focusing on ethics. Have ethics seminars for customers. Have ethics seminars for companies that need help, such as Nike. Focus more on R&D to improve and lower cost, and also improve and make tractors more efficient. Focus on community event. Nobody likes a big dog in a small area. Going into Africa, going down to Brazil with all these people having small local people that made tractors and ran tractors forever. Look at Cuba, there's 1950s cars everywhere. They ain't gonna like a big dog coming in. And then here's my references.